Hello there, Running-ears, and I'm excited because next week, for us mere mortals, we have registration for the Princess Half Marathon Weekend next February. For the Club Run Disney, they have it this week, starting tomorrow. So starting June 20th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So make sure if you're in a different time zone to adjust that. So that is 9 o'clock Central. That is 8 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Pacific. There will be registration. They will open up for the general public. It will go pretty quickly, guys. So, guys, be prepared. Okay, guys. Before I get started, guys, again, subscribe to the channel. You guys have been doing an amazing job. We're over 700, and we're gonna get to 1,000. It's just a matter of time. But guys, keep sharing this information. Keep asking your questions. And again, I love that you guys have been so interactive with me. I do this channel because of you guys. I love sharing this information with you guys. So again, thank you very much for being you, and let's get to it. So first off, I like to give a couple of disclaimers. Number one is I do not work, nor have I ever worked for Run Disney or Disney themselves. I am just a guy who has done this many, many times, and I love doing this. I love talking to people, so I do talk to Disney people and Run Disney people, and sometimes get some inside information. So I try to share it with you, try to help you guys out as much as I can. I'm not very magical. If I was in La Familia Madrigal, I would be like Maribel. I'd be the one with no powers. As a matter of fact, she would have more powers than I would because she seemed to be able to get the powers back. I'm just here. I'm a mere mortal. Second thing, guys, remember that for every slot that we're trying to get, there's about 3 people trying to get that slot. So even if you follow all these tips and tricks, there is not a 100% guarantee. I always tell people this. This will ensure that you have a better chance. But again, guys, take into consideration that 1 out of 3 probably are 1 out of 3 are going to make it in. That means 2 out of 3, maybe a little bit less than that, are not going to make it in. And guys, just be nice to each other, just be patient, and that's it. Somebody recently asked me, he goes like, what do you do? Because it seems like you go so seamless. I actually take notes. And I have, for this one, the notes get longer and longer and longer. And so I'm going to go over them. So guys, be patient. I'm going to go over as much as I can. When Disney does their video, this is about 3 minutes long. There's people that write it out, and it's about a page and a half long. Mine is going to be about 20-25 minutes, and the reason is because I'm going to go into detail, so that way answer as many questions as I can. I have realized no matter how long these videos get, there's always going to be one question that's going to be going like, okay, I haven't heard that question before, and I haven't looked at it that way before. And thank you guys for bringing up these questions, because again, I cannot think for everybody, and I cannot think for every situation. I try my hardest, but again, let's start with what we can start doing now. A week, and this is actually 8 days before the registration starts. So what can you start doing now? So number 1, the first thing that you got to do is just create your login information and create your account. And so I will show you how to do that. Go to rundisney.com, top right hand corner, help and support. Click on that, manage account. When you click on there, it'll take you to this page. Click on create an account unless you already have one. Here you can fill in your name, your email address, your telephone number. Remember to put the password in for your other Disney accounts, your address, and then once you finish it, just click on create account. So I stated before, the password, the username and the password are the same as anything that you have in Disney. I love what Disney has done. It's made it very easy. So anytime you create an account and you have the same email address, which is the same username, it's going to default to the same password, guys. So unless you want to change your password, guys, always remember that. But they make it pretty easy for you. So guys, the next thing you want to do is just get your information ready. In a little bit, we're going to go over, once you're registering, the information they're going to ask. Now, you have your account ready, so it's going to autofill some of it, like your name, probably your email, your address, possibly, so forth. So guys, there's going to be things that you're not going to need, and that's going to be cool. That's going to save you some valuable seconds. And so make sure that that's going to be auto-filled. But I'll go over in a little bit all of that information, and I'm going to go one by one and explain it so that way you guys can actually have it down. But make sure that you have it written down. Also, make sure if you're signing up multiple people, and towards the end of the video, I'll go over multiple people, make sure that you get the information also so that way you can help sign them up in case you're signing up multiple people. Okay, one that people do not take into consideration, because again, seconds count when it comes to registering for Disney events. Those of you who have done it know this for a fact. So what I always do is get your payment information ready. So I always choose 2 forms of payment. So whether it be a gift card, a debit card, a credit card, I think they take the PayPal, they take a couple of other things. So make sure that you write it down on a piece of paper, big numbers, so that you can input them as quickly as possible. And this is the reason I say make sure that you get 2 forms of payment. If you have a debit card and the debit card has a limit, it will put a hold on that debit card. And let's say you want to get into the challenge. The challenge is roughly $400. You have $500 in that card. So if you do that, it's going to put a hold of $400. Let's say it sells out, but you can register for the half and the 10K on their own. So you go back and you do that. You put it in there. They're still open. Well, it's going to say insufficient funds because it's a hold, so it only has $100. But if you have a credit card or a gift card that actually has that amount, then you can go back in and register pretty easily. And I hate to say this because what prompted me to bring this up is that there was somebody online who said they had saved up all this money, and I felt so bad because it seemed like it was going to be their first race, and they put it all in one debit card. Again, that one sold out, so when they went back and they can get in, they could not because it was basically maxed out just because there was a hold on the card. I felt so bad for this person. I really badly wanted them to do it. And then actually a couple people afterwards said, thank you for saying that because my first form of payment didn't work. So I went to my backup payment and I got in pretty quickly. So guys, make sure you get 2 forms of payment. Okay, other things that you're going to have to do right now, or you can do right now, I would do it as soon as possible. Prioritize the runs and prioritize the people that are going to come with you. So if you're going to sign up multiple people, prioritize that, and I'll go into that detail right now. But first, I'm going to go prioritize the runs. For example, there's going to be things that you need to know about the runs. For the 5K, you can be 5 years or older to do it. For the 10K, you can be 10 years and older to do it. So if you're under 10, so 9 and younger cannot do it. 4 and younger cannot do the 5K. For the half marathon, you have to be 14 years or older. So 13 and younger cannot register. So guys, be careful when you're registering, and I think this is going to go under the prioritize, so that way you know, in case you have a family member who's 9, you know that you can prioritize and get them into the 5K and try to get into that one a little bit quicker, because that's what you want to do. If everybody is above 14, then you're going to go to the next step. So guys, prioritizing the races is going to go like this. So let's say you want to get into and the ultimate one is the challenge and the 5K. So it's going to be two separate registrations. So it's going to be the challenge and the 5K. You get all going, you get there, and all of a sudden the challenge is sold out. So you can go back, and it'll allow you to go back, and let's say the half and the 10K are open. So you can sign up. You're going to be able to sign up for them. So again, prioritize what you're going to do. So if you prioritize that, the first thing you got to do is the challenge. So put the challenge down first. If it's the 5K is the most important thing because you're going to do it with your family, then prioritize the 5K. But then have backup plans just in case. So a good one would be is if you can't get into the challenge, go into the half. If you can't get into the half, go into the 10K. And yes, you can get them individually and get them. You just don't get the challenge medal. But guys, so prioritize. Make sure that you have your list of priorities so you can go real quickly. Usually if you practice it over and over and over, you have it in your mind, so you can just do it pretty quickly. You're just going to have to look at the payment information. Now, guys, when it comes to prioritizing, when you're going to sign people up, and I'll go over it again when I do the multiple signups. Okay, guys, you're going to have to prioritize, does this person have to run with me? If the answer is, no, well, that'd be great if they do, but then you can skip the adding another person and then going and registering yourself. Then you can go back and then register them if you're going to be registering multiple people. If that is for, like, let's say the example of the 9-year-old who's going to be running the 5K with you. They have to run it with you because you know what, it's part of the family. I think it's a cool thing. I've seen it. So guys, if that's the case, guys, what you're going to do is you're going to prioritize that both of you have to get in there. So you're going to make sure you fill out your information. You're going to go to add another runner, which we'll come up to in a little bit. You're going to add another runner, and then you're going to add that person, and then you're going to register, or try to register both at the same time. So that way, again, you're prioritizing that you need to run with this person, or it's like, oh, it would be a cool thing, but if it doesn't happen, it's not a big deal. So guys, I do this because I said there, we're moving on. We are moving on because now we're going to be going to the morning of. So now let's fast forward to June 20th. And let's say we're on the East Coast. It's 10 a.m. The registration part is. So now it's 9 a.m. in the morning. So we're going to log in. We're going to look at our information. I always say log in about 30 minutes in advance, at least 30 minutes in advance. So by 9:30, I'm logged into my device and I log into my account. Now, here goes an idea that I have is multiple devices. So guys, that could be a PC, it could be a desktop, and it could be a tablet, it could be a phone. So guys, what I would do is get some multiple devices. Now guys, if you are registering multiple people and those people are registering themselves or can register you, if that makes sense. So like for example, if me and my friend are registering and we're next to each other, each one of us can manage a device or two. And so that would be an added bonus. And so again, we prioritize if we need to run together, and if we do, we'll, and I'll get to that part in a little bit. The next thing that I would do is, this is what I advise, is if you're going to be on different devices, have different web browsers. Now, not all web browsers are the same. I've had luck with all of them, not exactly all the time though. The one I've had the most luck with is Chrome, Google Chrome, but I have gotten it in Safari. And so there's other people who have told me, no, I've had better luck with, and I love this one, DuckDuckGo. I just love the name, so that's a cool one. But guys, try different, I would try ahead of time also logging in and see how quickly you can log into all your accounts on the different browsers, which one you can log in the fastest. Another thing to piggyback on that is, guys, if I have two devices, I would have one on Wi-Fi and I would have the second one on data. And again, there is times when data is slow in your house or at work or whatever it is. So that's what you can decide to say, you know what, I'm just going to switch it over and I'm going to have both of them on Wi-Fi because it's more powerful. Or if the Wi-Fi is slow, then you can try to put both of them on data, or one on Wi-Fi and the other one on data. This is the reason why. So guys, a lot of people get mad because all of a sudden it was dropped and everything. What we don't take into consideration is, what if it was our Wi-Fi? What if there was a power shortage in our area? What if all of a sudden the company had a bad, something happened to it, and so all of a sudden there was bad connections? The same thing happens with cellular data. So the cellular data may drop. So at least you have an opportunity to register. If one drops, you still have the other one. If both of them are there, that's perfect. That's the best case scenario, guys. But that's why I always say I make these videos a little bit longer, because this is the kind of stuff that isn't really put out there. But guys, yeah, so go ahead and have at least one on one browser, a different browser for a second one, and then one with data and one with Wi-Fi. Another thing that you guys got to put into consideration, and I said it in my last video, and there's a lot of misinformation going around about this. If you sign up for a challenge, it does not include the 5K. The only exceptions are Dopey Challenge for the marathon weekend, because that's all 4 runs. And as of now, because I don't know if they're going to change it ever, but Springtime Surprise right now will do the 5K, 10K, and a 10-miler, not a half marathon. So the challenge is included in those too. So there's a lot of misconception going around, because when it comes to Wine and Dine, when it comes to Goofy, when it comes to Princess, again, and the Disneyland half marathon weekend, the 5K is not included in that challenge bundle. So guys, again, this is going to be part of the stuff that you got to know ahead of time, because I don't want you guys to register. You registered and you got into the half marathon and you go yes, or the challenge, I'm sorry, and then you sit there going like, but wait a second, It doesn't say anything about the 5K, or you go try to pick up your bib, even worse, and then they tell you, no, by the way, that was a little different. So guys, take that into consideration. I'm taking a little bit more time because there's so many people posting this information out there, and I'm just trying to get you guys the right information. So now, guys, we are at 9:30. So we have logged in. It probably is going to log us out if it takes a little bit of time, but that's okay. So you log in. You have your multiple devices. I have 2 devices. They're both running and they're both going. This is important. You're going to start refreshing. You're going to start refreshing the page. It's going to say registration coming soon. Registration coming soon, and it's going to be like that for a while. Sometimes at 9:45, 9:50, it'll click in to where it says register now. Sometimes it's after 10 o'clock. So guys, be patient. I'm going to stress this. Be patient. So be patient. So once it gets there, it's going to say register now. There's going to be, I believe it's a green button that says register now. It does not matter which one pops up first. So 5K can pop up first. Click on it. Lately, there's been it's been a thing that it just goes straight back to the regular registration. So one of the times it's going to go into what's called the spinning queue. The spinning queue, or at least that's what we've named it. It's going to be self-explanatory. You're going to see this queue spinning and spinning and spinning. And guys, if you're with me on social media, you guys are going to be seeing me take snapshots and putting it. I have a messenger through Facebook that we always interact with the day of registration. So you're going to see a bunch of people seeing that spinning queue. At the bottom, it's going to give you your ETA. ETA will always, guys, and I'm going to stress this many times because it's going to start with more than 1 hour. So a lot of people will right away go, man, I know that it sells out sometimes in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 55 minutes, so I'm going to miss registration. No, guys, be patient. Okay, guys, that's going to be refreshing it on its own. So now let me go back. You have been refreshing to get to the to get to the register now. Once you get into the spinning queue, it says there and it reads there, do not refresh. I have tested this. Okay, refreshing it does not do anything, or at least it didn't do anything for me. Maybe it did something for you, but it did not do anything for me. So when I go in there and I just sit in there, wait, again, we're going to go back to the wait 1 hour. All of a sudden, it will refresh and it'll pop up with some time. Sometimes it's 55 minutes. Sometimes it is 30 minutes, and it's been times when I've heard of people getting 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. You're next in line. So guys, that's my point. And it could be about 15 minutes before it refreshes to get you to that point, guys. So guys, just be patient, because again, imagine if you're one of the first ones in line, and again, it takes 15 minutes to get you into the queue, but you get discouraged and you log off, but you are going to be one of the first to register. So guys, just be patient. Wait until you see a number there, okay? And then again, now you're going to have multiple devices. All of them are going to refresh. They're not all going to be the same. Maybe they will. But on the most part, one might say 30 minutes, the other one might say 45 minutes. And again, keep a lookout because they can change at any time. The 30 minutes might go down quickly. The 45 minute might go down quickly. Is it a possibility, and this happens, where it'll go down from 30 minutes to 20 minutes, then it'll go back up to 25 minutes, then it'll go down to 15 minutes, and it'll go back up to 25 minutes. This happens all the time, so it's not an anomaly. It's something that you see. So guys, I'm going to practice patience doing this. So guys, you're going to go in there and you're finally going to get to the queue where it's going to say it's your turn and you're going to register. So let's get to that. So guys, it depends on when you logged in. It might prompt you to log in again. That's okay, because it's going to autofill some of the things. And we're about to go over. Remember I told you, so this is a good time to take out your pen and paper. So you're going to write down, this is the information that you're going to need. And I would put this down, I would get this down now, because again, part of it is going to be autofilled. The rest of it, you're going to have to fill in yourself. And let's go over them. So the first thing you got to do is pick your run. So whether it be a challenge or an individual run, it's going to allow you to get one of them. It's going to ask you, who am I registering? And so if you put myself, it'll autofill everything right there. Next, obviously, is your name. Again, that might be autofilled. Your age, and again, that might be autofilled also, but make sure that you get the ages and date of births of the people that you're registering also. Okay, the next one is going to be a funky one because it's right. Historically, it's been right on the side So if I'm looking at the page right now, so I'm looking at the page and all the information is here. On this side, it's going to say something about shirt size. Guys, I have missed this before and had to go back again. So that's where you pick your shirt size, but it's kind of sneaky. So guys, I always say you're patient. Once you get in here, you're going to have to be a little bit faster, but you're still going to have to be patient. So make sure that you get your shirt size. If you do not check one of these boxes, so including the shirt size. So let's say you don't click the shirt size, it's not going to let you register. It's just going to kick you out, and it's going to keep kicking you out until you go back and you pick a shirt size. So guys, this is the reason I stress this, because I have missed it more than once, twice actually, the shirt size. So guys, make sure that you put in your shirt size. So I've already gone over it, but date of birth. Make sure that you have date of birth. Some might be auto-filled, but get it for multiple people if you're registering. You need to have an email address, and yes, you can put your email address for other people. It's just going to come to your email address. Physical address, and yes, again, just in case they have to send you something, which they normally don't unless you're doing a virtual run. So guys, a physical address you can put in, and again, multiple people, you can just put in your own physical address. Phone number is another one, and again, you can put your own phone number. Again, when I would register my nephew, I just put in my phone number to make it simple. Emergency contact. So guys, make sure that you fill out the emergency contact. This might be one that has a couple of drop-down bars because it's going to ask you who it is, what the relationship is. So guys, just make sure that you got that and can go pretty quickly. Family member, other, a friend, whatever it is. So the next one is historically been click to acknowledge. So click to acknowledge is basically you're acknowledging this is a race. You're basically getting a waiver. So make sure that you click on this or else it won't let you move out. Now we get to the interesting ones, because some of these you can just click simplicity wise and then go back and fill them out in. So you can click in and you'll understand when I start going over these. If this is your first time, if it's not your first time, then you guys already know this. So it's going to ask you for military division. If you pick that you are military division, it's going to have you drop down bar and it's going to ask you which branch of the military that you are representing. The next one is disabled. If you click on disabled runner, which guys, if you're going to be slower because you're in a wheelchair or you have difficulty walking, whatever it is, guys, there is a special, they start you at the very end of Corral A, if I'm not mistaken, and between A and B, and I think it's a good thing, so that way you guys have more time. But guys, it will ask you about, it's going to have another drop-down bar, are you going to need help, or so forth and so on. Let us know, so that way, again, they can accommodate you, and I think this one is an important one. So the next one is proof of time, and right now I'm seeing people just go crazy about proof of time. Guys, you can actually put that you're not going to put proof of time. I believe it's 2 hours and 15 minutes over a half marathon. You do not need to put in proof of time. This is my take. Even if you're fast, because you're going to have to click on and copy and paste the proof of time, guys. So I always put on the slowest time. Even though I'm faster, I can always go back later when there's going to be a place where you can edit your registration, and you can just go in there and copy and paste later on once you get in. So right now you're trying to ensure that you're going to get in. So I wouldn't worry too much about proof of time. If it's a deal breaker for you, go ahead and do it. Again, I don't see any value in trying to get into it quickly, especially when you're trying to save valuable seconds. So the next one's going to be anticipated pace. And again, guys, it's going to be, are you trying to do a 12-minute to 13-minute run? Are you a mile, so forth and so on? I just kind of pick generally something that's not going to give me any kind of drop-down bars or anything, so I can just continue going. The next one is affiliations, and again, I don't understand anymore why this has to do with it, but DVC, are you a cast member? Are you an annual pass holder? So it's going to ask you if you're any of these. The next couple are basically for research purposes only. It's going to ask you how many runs have you done, and what are the distances that they have covered. So have you done a 5K, a 10K, a half, a full, a challenge? So it's going to ask you these kind of questions. Again, these next two questions, I kind of sit there going like, do I really need them? But it's going to ask you, are you planning on staying on property? And what is the size of your travel party? So again, to me, I would ask these after you've registered. I think that there are ways to slow you down a little bit when you're registering, but to me it doesn't make any sense, because if you don't get in, it doesn't matter. But this is the kind of information that I believe they would want to have, so that way they can anticipate you know, we're going to need this many rooms, we're going to need this and stuff like that. But if you don't make it in, it doesn't even make sense that they need that information. Okay, guys, if you're registering multiple people, on the next page, on the bottom, right after all that, on the bottom, on the if you're facing the screen on the right side, it's going to say register another runner. If in the scenario where you have the 9-year-old who has to do the 5K and you want to do it with her, you click on that and you go through the same process. Again, I wouldn't worry about proof of time. I wouldn't worry about a lot of stuff, but that's just where you add. You can add as many runners as possible. Now, again, when I say prioritize, if there's a family of 5 and all of you have to run, register all 5 of you. If there's 5 friends and you sit there going like, well, I want to run it. Some of them are going, I don't know if I want. And so register yourself first and make sure that you're in. And then after that, go back and you can try to register them. So the next thing is something that you could definitely skip. It's the pre-sale items. Now, they really don't ever have really good pictures of them. They have descriptions of them. So again, it's up to you to add this. Now, from my understanding is, and I'm pretty sure this is true, you can return it at the expo if you want to. If you're an annual pass holder, DVC member, and you get discounts on merchandise, guys, so you can return it. If it's still at the expo, you can just buy it again with the discount. I've heard of people doing this kind of stuff, but again, to me, pre-purchasing stuff is a waste of time right now, because you can always go back on your registration page, on your page. It'll always say buy products, and you can go in there and buy products, and you basically have at least up until a month or maybe even less than that to buy your products, and so they can have them at a special place when you go into the expo for that particular Run Disney weekend. So the next box is basically donations. It's for a charity. It's usually for a charity that is helping put on the event. So if you want to make a donation, you can click on there. So guys, next is a promo code. I've never gotten a promo code. Have you guys gotten one? So if you have a promo code for $10 off, 10% off, whatever it is, that's where you would put it. And guys, the next thing is going to be payment. Guys, this is very important. This is where I always tell you to have the 2 ready, because again, it'll tell you right away, sold out. You can go back in real quick and start autofilling again, and start autofill what you can, and then start typing in what you can if you didn't get your first choice, and then you can pay again. But guys, payment is going to be right there. Payment is going to be very self-explanatory. It's going to have drop-down bars for like gift cards. I usually pay with a gift card. So guys, this is very important. Now, this is very, very important. Guys, through this process, you are not registered until you click submit, and you say, it says, thank you for registering. Congratulations, you've registered, and you got the registration and confirmation number. Okay, guys? So this is different from if, especially this is your first run. If you have reserved a resort, you know that you have 15 minutes and it saves it for you for 15 minutes so you can sit there, take your time, get payment information. This is not the same for Run Disney events. See, Run Disney is first come, first serve. So you can be on there and you can take a minute or so and say, I'm already in and stuff. And all of a sudden it'll say sold out. So guys, just remember that. That's one of the pet peeves of people, that they sit there going like, oh man, you know, I was on here for 15, 20 minutes and then all of a sudden I got here and it didn't save my spot. No, it's not going to save your spot, guys. So guys, remember that and just keep going until you get that confirmation that you are in. Take a screenshot of your registration, because sometimes you don't get an email. Sometimes registrations get lost. It didn't show up on your email for whatever reason. So when you register, when you go in there and you get your account, it's not in there. As long as you take a screenshot that you paid and you have your bank account backing you up that you have paid, you are in. You can show up the day of the expo. There's a special place that you go and you show it to them. They're going to make you sign a waiver, and then you go get your number. So you will get a bib. But guys, I see a lot of people sitting there going, whew, okay, they're done, and then they just click off and stuff, and then a couple of days later go, wait a second, I never got an email. Wait a second, it's not on my account. So guys, this is where I say take a screenshot. Take a screenshot, save it somewhere, so that way you have it just in case anything happens. So signing up 2 people or more is not much different. So the only thing that's going to be different is going to be the time that it takes you to sign up. And that's why I told you, prioritize. Is this family of 5? You have to do it as a family of 5. Then yes, keep adding runners until you get there. Make sure that you get all their information. They may not ask all of it, but at least you have it there. Registration is usually going to be under the person's email that registered them, so the registration will all be there. So if you are a father and you got 4 family members, a wife and 3 children, it's all going to be under yours. That's fine. You can print everything out from yours. When you go to the expo, everybody just has to go get their individual numbers and their bibs, and that's it. And again, adults have to have their ID. Kids, with the parents, that will be there, so they'll be fine. So guys, when you're registering multiple people, you got to take that into consideration. The other scenario is it's a group of friends, and you guys, it doesn't matter because I want to do it because I want to continue going because I'm trying to get a perfect season or whatever it is, and my friend is kind of saying, well, if I get in, I get in. So I would say, all right, register yourself, then go back and register in. So once you skip that and you register yourself, you're going to have to go back to the process. It doesn't take as long, but you're going to go in pretty quickly, and then you can register them. All right, that's registering multiple people, guys. So again, multiple races is going to be also similar. What's going to happen is once you finish, you're going to have to go back into the queue. So if you do the challenge and you want to do a 5K, go back into the queue. The queue will get you in pretty quickly, and then you register for the 5K. And that's the way you register for the challenge and the 5K. Again, I'm going to say it again. A challenge in this scenario for Princess Weekend, does not include the 5K. For Springtime Surprise, it's probably going to be different. But for Princess Weekend, it does not include the 5K. So guys, I've gone over basically everything right now. I mean, the next thing to do is to celebrate and start the training. But I'm going to go over some important points that I'm going to stress one more time. And actually, the first one that I'm going to stress is not something I've stated already, but I need to state this, guys. There is no refunds. There is no transfers for runDisney events. This does not work like other runs. So in other words, guys, you cannot buy this run, and this is one of the things that I would prioritize first. If you don't, you're on the fence about doing it, and you're thinking, I may not do it. If I get in, I can get my money back or I can transfer it over. None of those are true. So guys, you cannot do that. So guys, what I would suggest is if you want to badly run it, then of course register. If you're kind of like on the fence, wait, because sometimes they release more races, so you're able to register, and maybe a month later they update it, and you're going to be able to register. So you just go in there and say, okay, register. There's very minimal when it comes to the secondary registrations. When they pop up randomly, and they probably will pop up for all of the princess ones. But again, it's going to be random. It's going to be quick. So guys, take that into consideration. Guys, do not try to transfer bibs. Do not try to sell these bibs. If you do, it reads, and please guys, I read all the guidelines and everything, the rules. If you are caught where you sell a bib, both of you will get banned, or both of you may get banned depending on the circumstance. But guys, do not try to do this. If there's a legitimate reason, medically you got diagnosed with something, and God bless you, I don't hope this upon anybody, but something happens, a tragedy happens in your life, and God bless you for that one too. I don't wish it upon anybody, but something happens, guys, I would not put it on social media. I would not ask social media. I would go straight to runDisney. Go straight to runDisney, let them know what your circumstance is, follow their guidelines. They may give you a refund in the form of a gift card. I've heard of that happening. Usually, unless you're military and you get military papers and you have proof of the military papers, then they will give you your money back. But on the most part, they will just give you a gift card that you can use later. But again, I would not go to social media. You're going to ask social media, you're going to get 100 different responses, and they might not be the right ones. Even 100 might be wrong. Go to runDisney themselves, guys. I really, really implore you, go to runDisney themselves. Another one, it's a reminder, if you pre-buy anything and you decide not to show up or decide not to pick it up, they will not ship anything. So guys, take into consideration. My thought process is I go straight through the registration. I don't go through anything extra. If I want to add anything extra, if I want to put in proof of time or buy something, I go in later. But guys, if you buy something, they will not ship it. So you lose your money, you lose whatever it is that you got. So guys, take that into consideration. That's why I suggest don't buy it. You can take your time and a few months later go, you know what, I want that bundle, I want that shirt, I want whatever they have. And so you can go back and buy it. Okay, another tip is because people are going to register and they're going to say, man, I'm going to be Darth Vader for this run because this is going to happen. And again, this is Princess, so please don't dress up as Darth Vader. But the reason I'm saying that is because now you have a mask on. Okay, guys, before you sign up and you want to do a particular run, and that's a deal killer, but you're going to have a mask on. Read the rules, because the rules state that you cannot have anything that looks like a weapon. You cannot have anything that extends. You cannot have a mask on. So guys, look at that before you register. And guys, I think that's it. I mean, I'm probably going to think of something later on and go like, man, I wish I would have said that. Guys, this is your time. Guys, does any of this help you guys? Is there any stuff that you sit there going like, man, I needed that refresher course, and thank you for reminding me. Guys, is this your first time? Are you excited? I'm excited for you guys. I personally am going to be at Disney World, one of the resorts, and that's where I'm going to be trying to register. I have done that once before, and so I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. Again, what I always tell people is this. Guys, remember, I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning. For every one slot, there's about 3 people, 2 to 3 people trying to get that same slot. So guys, if you do not get it, do not be upset, especially at other runners, at the volunteers, at cast members and stuff, at Disney. You know what? You do what I do. I've already got my hotel reservations for that day. If I don't get in, which is a possibility, I don't get in, I am going to go and cheer these people on. I had a blast cheering on for the Princess 5K. I didn't even try to get into that run, but friends of mine were running it, and there was a couple people that asked me, can you come and cheer for me and my family? And of course I said yes. I had a blast, and I will do it again if I, for some reason or another, do not get into one of the runs. So guys, don't get mad, don't get angry, don't, post stuff on social media, guys. We're always staying as positive as we can, guys. With that said, again, questions down below, comments down below. This video has gotten a lot longer than I thought. It's almost at 40 minutes. And guys, I told you, if I keep talking, I might even make it an hour or so. And Disney's is only 3 minutes. So again, but I want to make sure that you guys got all the information, all the answers to all the questions. So that way, you're better prepared, guys. With that said, guys, magical luck. I hope you get in. I hope to see you guys in February. Your smiling faces, you always make my day. So thank you very much for being who you are. Guys, create a magical day. Create a magical run. And guys, see you sooner than later.